Class, hasn't the horse in push off Ginnajoch. Hasn't Fiachendish you. We're going to try and learn about the genitive case, which can be quite complex in some ways, but there are various forms, and so we'll just do 2 or 3 forms today. The genitive case or the possessive case is just simply of something you're possessing, like the boy's hand being the hand of the boy, the table leg, leg of the table, etc. But in Gaelic, the word changes in the spelling and the genitive appears in various forms in Gaelic. And the easiest way to remember the genitive case is just by learning the phrase. That's what I find anyway. The genitive case written on these are written in red. So it appears in many forms. Mar exemplar, M-E, if you see M-E anytime, it will be mar exemplar, which is for example. So with the verbal noun, when the object, a definite article, we use the genitive case. So ha mi levig leor, I am reading a book. But if I am reading the book, ha mi levig in leor. And the sound changes and the I is put into the word leor. Ha I is shine oran, she is singing a song. Ha is shine in oran, the I goes into the O-R-A-N, and then that tells you that it's in the genitive case. She is singing the song. Ha e garig fiar, he is cutting grass. Ha e garig in your, fiar becomes fjord, and in your is the grass. So he is cutting the grass. So now when you look up a noun in your dictionary, look for the noun and the next word that you see will be a genitive case. The following word will be the nominative plural. Feminine words that end in IR, they change. So chair is caher. Cachroch is the genitive. So fer, ne, cachroch becomes the man of the chair. Jucher, juchroch. The preposition returv takes the genitive case. So returv, ne, juchroch. And the letter H is in between the 2 vowels, the A and the U, so beside the key. Lichter becomes lichtroch, and koshne lichtroch, along with the letter. Macher, which is marram grass, usually found up in the uists. Macher becomes machroch, flurichen ne machroch, and words like opir, ending in EIR, change to obroch, and you get loch obroch, the people of work. Gives you the word for workers. Female words take ne when you use this format with ne and in. So drain the drochage, the ridge of the bridge. So the back of the bridge or the ridge of the bridge. Ne then indicates that drochage is a feminine word. Tuich in drama is the Gaelic for tyne drum. It's exactly, you've been speaking Gaelic, maybe not been realizing it. It's house of the ridge, the house of the ridge. Draim becomes drama in the genitive case, and dromanin is the plural of backs or ridges. So when you see in the genitive case, ne, in the singular, ne or in, ne indicates the next word is feminine, and in indicates that the next word is masculine. So draim, the back, then becomes drama in the genitive case, and dromanin is your plural.
Excuse me, is the article always ne or in?
In that case, yes. Yes, but then you can have a apostrophe with lenition as well. Like lav valley. So you can have that, that's another format as well. Talking about the noun type in drama, you would think it would be in type in drama, but what happens is when a noun is qualified by another noun in the genitive, the first noun may not be preceded by the article. So if you saw the flowers of the macher are beautiful, you would probably want to say, I think, ha ne flurichen ne machroch bria. But you don't use the first ne. You just go straight into the noun and you say ha flurichen ne machroch bria. I listen to the morning report on the radio of the Gaels every morning. Radio in Gael is Gaelic radio station. Irish na matne is the report of the morning. Matin is your word, but then your genitive case becomes matne. So Irish na matne. You can see why I'm asking you just to learn the phrases. So be me a géisteach, be me because you're doing it on a regular basis. Well, I do anyway, and hopefully you will be as well. Be me a géisteachrí, I listen to the morning report. Drop the, and you go straight into Irish na matne. And then in radio would be on the radio, but we're now saying on radio na Gael, the radio of the Gaels. So you have to say radio na Gael. Other thing that you notice here is none. That's the plural. The plural, and then what happens is the plural goes back into the singular word. Radio of the Gael, not of the Gaels. When it's in the genitive case, it goes back for certain genitives. Other genitives takes the plural word, but this one takes radio nun Gael. So that's, you've heard of canon na Gael, the language of the Gael, and that's what it's, the canon of the Gaels. It's not the canon of the Gael, it's the language of the Gaels. So crave is a feminine word. So because I said they have seen na, you go the back of, so your behind becomes cool, na, and crave is feminine. So you add on the I and the E. You slenderize it and you add an E. So you go, cool na crave would be behind the tree. During the night, preposition re takes the genitive as well. So you go re na haige for feminine words. Cool and tire, and you pronounce the end letter E. Cool and tire, behind the house. Re and va during the day, and because it's masculine. How would you say during the morning?
Reina,
And Martin?
Reina,
Martin?
Reina,
It's re na matne.
Martin, Reina Martin.
So matin, as I said earlier on, matin becomes matne. So you would have to say re na matne. So matin becomes matne. So re na matne. Re na haige, again because it's feminine. Matin va. So you know that matin va, you say every day. So that you know matin is feminine. So then you have to say re na, and then find your word as matin, but find the genitive as well. Look for the genitive when you're starting looking for your nouns now. And you say re na matne.
Could I ask a question just before you move on? So it's cool and tie. So you change, you add an E onto the end of the tie. Why is there no change to la when it's re and la?
Well, you can't there's no slenderization in la.
Right, just because you can't do it, but right.
So you don't
Okay,
standardize.
understand.
And that's why I'm saying, as at the
Yes,
end of the day,
right.
learning the phrase is a better way than sort of
Yeah,
making your head go into all
rather than trying to apply a general rule.
close. Your ear is close, becomes close. So fanya is a ring, and fanya close is an earring. Cas is your foot or your leg, and then the genitive is kosher. So baul, kosher, which a lot of people learn right away. These compound nouns, baul with a hyphen and kosher, then become one word, and that becomes football. It's the ball of the foot. Skol becomes scholar. Sound the E, scholar, and also have the E in the spelling. Scholar Meister scholar is a master or a teacher of school. Kalak, ending in EA, changes to Kalike, and you slenderize her by EI and adding an E. So coat, Kalike is a girl's coat. Kalioch, it's an old woman. Kaliche, at Kaliche becomes an old woman's hat. So feminine nouns, you slenderize them, that means add on an E, but if the letter I, sorry, add letter I. If the letter I is in the word, you don't have to slenderize it, obviously, but you have to add an E on the end of the word. Some genitive cases, singular, can be nominative plurals. For an example, cat is a cat. Cat becomes cage in the genitive case. Then you'll see cage as well, which will be cats, and the cats is ne cage, the definite article in the plural, ne cage. So cat, masculine nouns plus slenderization and lenite after the article. Now that is confusing. I know it must be. All right. So we'll say cat, cat becomes cage. So beer cage is food of a cat. Beer cage. But the food of the cat becomes beer a cage. The is the, and you have to lenite it. So beer cage, cat's food. Beer a cage, the cat's food. Coo. Someone going to try this one? Pauline.
Dog, coo, coin.
Make it a
Spog, coin.
Coin. And then,
Dog's paw, spog, a coin. The
Spog.
dog's paw.
the dog's paw. So spog y chon. Spog y chon. So see here, first one you say con, you don't lenite it. So spog con is a dog's paw. Spog y chon, the dog's paw. So when you have a apostrophe, that's the.
And it's always sounded like yeah,
It sounded like
not the
So spog y chon.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
Coin.
Spog y chon.
Spog y coin.
Eva.
Spog y coin.
Okay, Fiona.
Boy, balach, balach, ad, balach.
So at Bali.
A boy's hat,
And then this
a
one.
boy's hat, ad, a valach, valach.
At. See the D in the at. Make it like as if you're saying the. At a valley.
At,
Say a softer D. Okay. At.
a valach.
Your D is too
At.
English. your D is too English. Right? So at. Say it as if you were saying the.
Ad,
That's it. Perfect. At a valley.
ad,
At a valley.
a valach.
That's it. Well done. At a valley. Tom, try this one.
Table, ball, cast board, a table leg, cast a fjord, the table leg.
Yep. Cas a voord. Cas a voord.
Fjord.
That's it. That's very Lewis Gaelic, okay? If you were in US,
Yeah, because V, not fjord.
yeah, if you were in US, they would say borscht. So I'm keeping my US friends happy. Borscht. They would say borscht, borscht, cas borscht, cas a voorst. But I say board, board, cas board, cas a voord. Clever? Well done. Ian Kennedy.
Music, Kiol, cool. Nach cool, a musician.
Yeah.
Lucht, cool, musicians, plural, a neach. Why is the A not between the neach and a cool?
No, it's making
no.
it the. It's giving it a definite article. Neachkul is the musician.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's not got apostrophe neither,
No, it's not
Got
got.
nice.
like the table leg.
No, because it's made it into a compound word. If you see them with hyphens, that's made it into one word, musician. When you see it with apostrophe,
Oh,
that's
you can't split it.
right. Okay. So Nyachkul
Yes.
is the person of music. And that's got the hyphen in it, and that's made to a compound word. So it's one word, musician. As Caroline was saying to explain to me, she finds that the sounds are difficult. And it is difficult because when you're saying cat, in English, we just add on an S to our plurals, you know, cat, cats, dog, dogs. But unfortunately in Gaelic, but this is what makes Gaelic so interesting, that's what you have to learn all the various ways of saying. So cat. So I have cats. Ha kech agam. Ha cat agam, I have one cat. The cats are in the house. Ha ne kech ounce and teich. Ha vier kech in lar. A cat's food is on the floor. The cat's food is on the floor. Ha bieg e kech in lar. How would you say the dog's food is in the kitchen? Ha bieg e chan ounce the kitchen.
Kitchen.
Ha bieg y chan ounce the kitchen. Bieg y chan. No. Bieg y chan, because y chan, the dogs. See, all right, so who is the dog?
Got it.
Right, you got it now? So who is the dog?
Yeah.
And then you say, I have dogs. You would say, ha con acum. I have dogs. The dogs are in the garden. Ha ne con ounce cigarig. The dog's food is in the garden would be ha bieg a con ounce cigarig. That's all it is. It's the possessive. And so when anytime you hear, but you have to, what you're going to have to do is break it down into the food of the dog. I'm sorry, I never made the language up. There are lots of forms in the genitive case. I'll just bring you into another form as well. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just one way of saying it. You have lots of different ways of using it and reasons why. So as I'm saying, it's different with a feminine noun. It's different with a masculine noun. It's different with the verbal noun. And now I'll show you another thing where it's different, just to try and maybe explain it to you a bit better. And you might, you know, the words for family. Tuloch.
Yeah.
So father is ahir, but my father's house is the house of my father. So what you see is teich ahar. So it becomes teich mahar. And notice what's happened. You've dropped the letter I.
Oh, for goodness
To make things even more confusing. I told you earlier on to add an I with the feminine words. Okay. Here's mahir, a feminine word. Mahir, remember mother stressed out, grab, becomes mahar. So atmo vahar is my mother's hat. So remember, this is also possessive. Mo, mine, and do. So remember, we've had mo and do, and when you have mo and do, you always lenite. So mo ahad, you can't lenite ahad because it's a vowel. So you go mo ahad, take away the o there, and you put the apostrophe there. That's why the apostrophe is there. Tai mahar, 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 at movahar. Brahar becomes brahar. Wav movrahar, my brother's hand. Shenar becomes shenar. cas mo hennar, my grandfather's leg. Leg of my grandfather. Shenavar, shenavar. Bacht mo hennavar. But the odd one out is your sister. And your sister, if you notice, all of these, ahad, mahad, brahid, shenar, shenavar, they all end in AIR, but your sister ends in AR. So she then changes to peher. And then, so your nephew becomes the son of my sister. It could be the son of my brother, but I've chosen my sister just now. So mach mo feher is your nephew on your sister's side.
Son of my sister.
All right. So mach mo feher. My sister's house would be, what do you think my sister's house would be?
Time of death.
Time of
Taich mo feher. Yes, taich mo feher. So what would be your nephew on your brother's side?
Muvra.
Yeah, so it becomes mach mo brahar. BHRA Mach mo vrahar. Not mo vrahir, mo vrahar. Yeah.
Can I just go back to that again? Because if you're saying the difference between brahar and vrahar,
Brahir,
when
brahir
do you,
is the IR, it, brahir. But brahar
brahar, it's a genitive,
is the genitive.
yeah?
Yep. So the brahir is the nominative, is the word.
Yeah.
But then brahar is the genitive. And then that leads into the plural, which is braren. And braren is the Gaelic for brothers. I would never say my cousin, co-o. Co-o is a word which they say now for cousin. But I wouldn't say cousin, I would say Padraig Mach Pure Mavahar, the son of the sister of my mother. Has that completely confused you? Because that's how I'd introduce my cousin. So Padraig, right? Padraig Mach Pure Mavahar would be the son of the sister of my mother. That's my cousin.
You don't have any second cousins, do you?
Yes. I'll put you I've got 30, I had 36 first cousins at one time.
My goodness.
And also second cousins. This one here is explained by only up to the number 10. And when you talk about 2 people, 3 doctors, 4 teachers, 5 sailors, these are the numbers you use. It's not in the 3 keer coig. You have to go into Gish, Brur, Kerir, Koigner, Shianer, Schachner, Ochner, Neuner, Dichner. So if you want to say to me, there are 5 in the family, you would say Hakoigner ounce in Churloch. That means there are 5 people in the family. But if you want to say what they specifically are, like children, sisters, brothers, doctors, whatever, fishermen, whatever, you have to add in the genitive word and lenite it. So the genitive of clown are children. The genitive is clonje. So gish, clonje would be ha, gish, clonje, agam. I have 2 children. I have 3 sisters. Perichen is the plural. Perichen, sisters. You have to say hatrur and then lenite it and say trur perichen. People, dunje. Dunje, D-U-I-N-E is one person, one man, one person. Dunje is the plural, but then you have to say kerir gunje. There are 4 people at the table. ha keder, gönje, ik geword. Bodden ich, bod noch, bodden ich, woman, woman, women. Koigner worden noch, kruchtjeren, crofters, ha shianer kruchtjeren, Eredloch would be there are 6 crofters on the croft. Seijeren, ha shachner, heijeren, ounce and taishinje. There are 7 soldiers in the pub. Dochteren, ha ochner, gochteren, ounce in hospital. There are 8 doctors in hospital. Ieskar, ieskaren, ha neiner, ieskaren, water. There are 9 fishermen on the boat. Braren, so I said braher becomes brahar, and the plural becomes braren. Had Jechner braren ige, he has 10 brothers.
But I suppose in English there's a similar thing. You say there were 10 of them, don't you? There, you don't say
Yes,
10 them.
that's exactly 10 of them. That's
Sometimes
basically
use
10
of.
people. It's 10 of people, and that's how it's come about with that.
That list at the end, is that nominative plural or genitive plural?
That's the this
Right.
is this list
Clonue.
here in the black. That is the nominative. So if you had 10 children in a bus, you would say had Jechner clonje ouncevis. These numbers are pertaining to people. Trish, how would you say my grandfather's house?
Right, so my grandfather's house. Tai Mo Shena.
It's Taimo Hennar. See that?
The henna. Oh, I shouldn't have said this.
You see
Taimo, that's it. I've got it there. Yeah, Taimo henna.
Taimo Hennar.
Taimo henna.
My grandmother's coat, Pauline.
Kota Mo Heniver.
That's it. My father's car, Catherine.
Mahar.
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 My mother's dog, Judy.
Kumavahar.
Kumavahar. Kumavahar.
Kumavahar.
My sister's dog, Susan.
Kumavahar.
That's it, Kumafeher. My mother's jumper, David, Davy.
Gensi Mo Vaha.
Vavahar. There are 6 people in the class. John.
She had Dunya and some class.
Shianar Junior.
She had Dunya and some class.
No, you've got to say Shianar and then lenite it. Shianar Junior. Your DH is like a G. Okay? Shianar Junior on the class.
Shianar Dunya and the class.
That's it. There are 7 fishermen on the boat. Alan.
Yes, no. Ieskeren, ounce of water.
There are 10 doctors outside in Kennedy. There are 10 doctors.
Doctors outside. Jechner, Dotteren, Amuich.
That's it. A Jechner Gochteren. A Jechner Gochteren Emuich outside. There are 9 crofters on the croft. Caroline.
Nenar Kreuteren.
On the croft.
Nenar Kreuteren. And Kreut.
Kreucht. On the croft. Okay, I'm not going to go on to any more. That's enough today for the genitive case.
Oh, I was right into it.
just absorb all that we've been saying and practice them. Practice the phrase, all right? So ahir becomes ahar. So all the family members, apart from your sister, all drop the letter I and change to AR. The odd one out, so sister becomes pure, becomes feher, and my sister becomes mo. Feher because mo, the night, and then perichin is the plural, perichin. You do the same
So
with
does
mo
that-
or do. Yeah, Caroline?
So does mo and do always take the genitive? Or is it just that they unite?
Selenite. Selenite.
It's not that they're linked to
They are
genitive.
possessive in it anyway. They're mine or yours, so they are possessive in another sense.
Ah, yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
so they're possessive in
Thank you.
another sense. And then your numbers, Gis, Trur, Kerer, Koigner, Shiana, Shachner, Ochner, Neugner, Jechner, always take the genitive with lenition. As I say, there are many different forms of the genitive case in Gaelic. So that's when you're breaking it down. So the first one we did was with the verbal noun. And that's kind of unusual, I suppose, in a language, that you do change the word into the genitive case when you have the definite article. That's one. Then you have mo and you have do. You have the changing in the families. You have the changing in the numbers 1 to 10. And then you have the changing in the feminine and the masculine nouns as well. A lot to take in. But that's good fun after you. So please don't worry about this. This will take a wee while to absorb them all and just enjoy them. We shall Genitive son erwa agus mór an taig garíú. Ha an dos gan de chord sin. Cheery drasta.